All right, ladies and gentlemen, AEW Dynasty just ended, and you're asking yourself, well, what's just happened? Don't worry, I got you. We had a really good show, solid show, and we start off on the pre-show. We open up with Marina Shafir versus Windsor. Windsor got the W here, but something in Marina felt different because she was smiling after she lost this match. Kamille made her return. She got a quick squash over Big, and she also earlier had returned and attacked Willow Nightingale. So after the match, Willow came out to attack her and Kamille dropped her again. TBS title match will be going down this Wednesday. Jack Perry defeated Mark Davis to retain the national championship, and Mega Bayne and Lena Kross defeated Hyan and Maya World to retain the women's tag team championship. This was a really fun match. Hyan and Maya World really stepped up to the plate and showed that they have a lot to offer. We move over to the main card, and our opening contest was Konosuke, Takeshita, and Kazuchika Okada of the Don Callis family taking on the Young Bucks. This match kind of felt really thrown together just because of the injury to Kyle Fletcher, but it still told a really solid story. Obviously, we were looking at the relationship between Okada and Takeshita. How would that all play out? This was a fun, awesome tag team match, and the Young Bucks really did a good job here of just really showing that they are one of the best tag teams alive. And this ultimately came down to Takeshita doing what he was always going to do. At one point during the match, there was some communication between Okada and Takeshita. They ended up fighting each other for a little bit, as Okada nearly hit Takeshita with the Rainmaker, then actually did. So, as the Bucks were going for the TK driver, Takeshita didn't stop them and let it happen. 1, 2, 3, the Bucks win the match. We got a package for our next match, which was Chris Jericho making his return, taking on Ricochet, who is accompanied by the Gates of Agony. Jericho got a strong babyface reaction here. This was a really solid match. Went a little longer than I thought it would, as it went 14 minutes. Ricochet targeted Jericho's shoulders while the Gates of Agony continued to appear, but ultimately, Chris Jericho, he was overwhelmed by all the numbers, that damn numbers game. Ricochet hit the, I believe, Spirit Gun, and right before he was going to pin him, Bishop Khan said, yeah. Really finishes off. So Ricochet hit Jericho with the Lion Salt and one clean 1, 2, 3, which is a little bit shocking. Then we had Andrade versus Darby Allin. If Darby wins this match, he gets a title shot. This was really solid. Andrade controlled early and was really playing with the crowd. Darby tried his high-risk dives. He even dropped Andrade with a Scorpion Death Drop, and Andrade followed back by hitting a really good spinning back elbow. Matches like this shows why one, Andrade is really good, and two, the real story of how Darby Allin wrestles, because he once again had to fight from behind. Darby countered and hit the Last Supper pin, which is a really tight pin to get out of. Darby Allin is your new number one contender, and Andrade shook his hand and raised his hand after the match. Babyface turn for Andrade. Let's see. You know, he was frustrated about even having to be in this match and to do the bidding for Don Callis. You know, Andrade also wanted a title shot. Then we had the World Tag Team Championship on the line, the Men's World Tag Team Championship, as FTR defended against Cope and Christian. Christian control early, taking on both FTR members and really diving onto my ringside. FTR isolated Christian after Crash snapped his neck on the top rope, so it looked like he was really hurt. Copeland's hot tag sparked a flurry, but FTR regained control with a belt shot interference, and Cope was busted open. He really bled heavily. You can see the gash in his forehead. He traded a Shatter Machine attempt and crossface submission. Stokely accidentally broke up FTR's penitent, causing chaos. There was multiple near falls, but ultimately FTR hit a final Shatter Machine to retain the championship's pinning. Copeland's doctor took a check on him at ringside. We got another promo from Willow. She got beat up twice, ladies and gentlemen. My girl got hurt twice. She will be putting the TBS Championship on the line on Dynamite this Wednesday. It will be against Kamille. She welcomes her back. She welcomes all comers, and she is a fighting champion. She promised to keep the division strong, but she vowed to end Kamille's comeback. Then we had the Casino Gauntlet for the vacant TNT Championship. We started off with Roosh and Ciampa. Roosh was number 2, Ciampa was number 1. And Roosh was showboating instead of trying to capitalize on the early advantage that he had. But we were, waiting, and he just kept playing around. He had this match won a few times. We entered in with Bandito, Speedball, El Clone, and Pac. Clone was really the standout here, followed by Pac. Pac is just that dude. Then we got Daniel Garcia, Anthony Bowens, and Kevin Knight, and it's just crashing out on all sides. Definitely a couple of suplexes on the outside of the ring. We got a standoff between Garcia and Pac against Speedball and Kevin Knight, so I'm expecting some tag team shenanigans there. But ultimately, Kevin Knight hit the UFO splash on Daniel Garcia, breaking up the submission that he held in, and then got the win. Kevin Knight is your new TNT championship. The future is bright for this kid, man. They really like him. Then we had the Women's World Championship on the line as Thekla took on Jamie Hayter. These two got heat. These two got beef. They don't like each other. Right? So Thekla controlled the match really early with some ringside aggression, including a DDT on the ramp. But she only got to the ramp because Jamie Hayter was showboating, carrying up the ramp with a suplex, but Thekla took advantage of that. Commentary also emphasized Jamie Hayter's injury history as Thekla dominated the match. So Thekla, knowing the history, targeted that neck, targeted that back. Hayter rallied with a tombstone and a top rope offense, but Thekla cut her off. Again, Thekla knows how to get out of these sticky situations. She did hit her spider suplex and a double stomp for a near fall. Hayter answered with the backbreaker, and Thekla, got out of it, showboated. She avoided a Haterade and used the middle turnbuckle for leverage on a cradle pin, held the ropes. 1, 2, 3, 3. Thekla retained. She's still your Women's World Championship. Alex Windsor came out, protested. Ref's decision is final, and look, it is what it is. And we got the Continental Championship was on the line. Jon Moxley put the belt on the line against Will Ospreay, and ladies and gentlemen, this was absolutely awesome. Ospreay opened early with a really quick hidden blade, but he refused to cover. He probably could have won the match right there, but he's like, look, I got 20 minutes. I can get the job done. And he dropped Mox with another hidden blade. But again, refused to cover. Mox recovered with a paradigm shift at ringside and took control with suplexes and strikes, and that's what Mox does. Brian Danielson pointed out commentary, you cannot let Mox recover. He will find a way. So Ospreay fired back with a Pele kick, springboard forearm, and counters despite his neck issues. Mox was targeting that next. Mox has said time and again, this isn't personal. You keep making it personal. And as you know, with all Continental Championship matches, Renee Paquette does the ringside commentary, the ringside interviews, the play-by-play. And as Ospreay was coming out to the ring, he stopped and looked at her. Look, man, they don't mention it a lot, but Mox and Renee Paquette, like a lot of us know, are married in real life. So Mox locked in the bulldog choke. Ospreay escaped and hit a sudden hidden blade, but there was an accidental ref bump. Low blow, all that trash happened. A power driver on the steps left Ospreay clutching his neck before barely beating the count. Mox dropped him with 2 paradigm shifts, followed by a Death Rider, and guess what? He retains the championship. Ospreay had this match won early on, and he didn't go for the dub. It ultimately cost him. Then we were backstage with Darby, and look, he said he climbed Everest, and Dynamite is going to be the perfect opportunity, and he wants the World Championships. Looks like we're going to get that title match this coming Wednesday. Darby said he's ready for anyone, and he's coming for the belt. We then got the Trios Championships on the line as the Dogs put their belts on the line against a complete conglomeration with a returning Kyle O'Reilly. And, I figured it was probably Kyle as the to-be-announced wrestler. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. The results. So, we were backstage. We started out backstage with the return. The Dogs controlled early, but the crowd loved the conglomeration. And I love the aggression from the Dogs. Kyle O'Reilly shifted the momentum with the Dragon Screw and ankle lock. Finley locked in Cassidy and a sleeper hold before Strong broke with some knee strikes. But the returning Kyle O'Reilly did his thing. He held Connors in the ankle lock. Chaos broke out around him, and ultimately Connors tapped it. We got new Trios champions. So the belts has changed hands twice within like 3 or 4 weeks. The titles literally just changed hands this past Saturday, and now they changed hands a day later. It was a shocking win, but I think this really jumpstarts the Dogs versus the conglomeration. This is going to be a good feud that they can stretch this out. I'm looking forward to it because the Dogs will not take this lying down. And then we got our main event, ladies and gentlemen. The Men's World Championship is on the line as MJF has put the title on the line against Kenny Omega. Both got beautiful entrances. What more can I say? This was a damn near perfect match, ladies and gentlemen. Omega control early with the dives and table setups, but he's pushing through his abdominal injury. You got to make note of that. That abdominal injury is something to always be noted for Kenny Omega. And MJF was targeting that midsection the entire match. He was stalling, he was taunting, kept beating up on Omega on ringside. Omega does what he does. He rallied with the Snapdragon, with the V triggers, a top rope one wing angel, but MJF rolled out to avoid the pin. The kid is smart, man. He's very, very smart. And with a lot of MJF matches, well, there's some shenanigans. A ref bump allowed MJF to hit a low blow. Omega hit a one wing angel, but the ref was late getting the cover, giving MJF time to kick out. He then used the Dynamite Diamond Ring, Tombstone Omega through a table ringside, hit the Heat Seeker. 1, 2, 3. MJF retains the championship. Really, really fun. Really, really solid match. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, this was a strong pay-per-view with multiple standout performances, especially from a returning Kyle O'Reilly, the main event, Thekla, Kevin Knight. Knight's title win, the Columbus Trios victory provided major shakeups. Mox versus Ospreay were just great. MJF Omega delivered Thekla's title retention and Ricochet's win at depth to their respective divisions. We are in a really good position, ladies and gentlemen, going into Double or Nothing. This was a well-paced show. It ended at midnight. I like that. It maybe bled a little bit over, but again, the solid show. I'm going to give Dynasty in 8.5 out of 10. It's a really, really strong show. But come back this Saturday or Friday as we get ready for WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania week, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if WWE can recover and get us interested in watching this show. But that's what just happened for AEW Dynasty. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.